Hello and greetings from the Eccentric site. My name is Uche and you are welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. If you are new here, please ensure you subscribe to the Eccentric site plus so that you can join the Eccentric family. If you haven't done that, let's go into the meat of this video. Now, for some days now, I have been following the Harrysong Soso Soberekon saga going on online, and I felt it's time for me to one give you the details and then share my opinion about the whole thing. By the way, say hi to my remote. Hi, remote. Now let's move into it. Now, sometime last week, I was watching the Franklin Speaking podcast, and Harrison was a guest. What was the topic? They were talking about fake friends in the industry, whether it is possible to have actual friends in the entertainment industry in Nigeria. And then Harrison was the guest. While he was talking, he made claims that his former business partner, Soso Soberekon, was threatened his life. And then after that, I read again that Soso Soberekon um, gave Harrison an ultimatum to retract his statement. If not, he'll be facing legal implications from him. Harrison did not follow suit, and eventually, Soso become reported to the police. Harrison was arrested, slept in jail, and then now he's on the verge of coming to retract his statements, and that is where we are. So, those are the facts. Now, having said all that, there are some other underlying facts and details that I feel I should share here. Then, after that, I will tell you my opinion. So, please follow me as we proceed. Now let's go back to the Harrison part of things. Now, at the as the Franklin Speaking podcast, I've been a fan of the show for a while. Back then, when they were on their former YouTube channel, that's when I started watching it. I watch mainly on YouTube. I don't listen to the audio podcast. I watch on YouTube. So back when they were on their former YouTube channel, as I have been a fan of it, I've been watching it. I've been following it. So I just recently then they moved to their new YouTube channel. That's strictly for them. The former YouTube channel was them and some other people. So when they moved to this new YouTube channel, I lost touch for a while because I was wondering what was going on. I think they finished their first season on the former YouTube channel, and then they felt they were strong enough to stand on their own, and they started a new YouTube channel. So on my own part, I was thinking perhaps maybe they have left or they have ended the show. But when it was my notice, okay, they have moved to a new YouTube channel, I subscribed and I began to catch up. So that Harry Song interview was, I think, the second episode I was watching. The first I watched, I did not really enjoy, so I did not follow to the end. But that was the second episode in this season two of the Frankly Speaking podcast I was following. And when I watched it, Harrison was giving his opinion about things. He called out a few names. He called out Casey, his former music partner and friend. He called out Skibby, the Nigerian musician, as well, and then called out Soso Soberekon. Now, others that he was calling out, their names and the allegations leveled against them, there are details that you may be able to say, okay, it's not really, yes, if Harrison was wrong, it can be sued, but it's not as serious as threatening one's life. He said Skibby and Casey are like backstabbers and they're not real friends and all. But then when it got to Soso, he said he was with Soso Soberekon, and then they had a misunderstanding and Soso pulled out a gun. Now, to the credit of the interviewers, those on the Frankly Speaking podcast, Nedu, Material, Tone, and Big Nene, I think Nedu was the one that when Harrison said Soso pulled a gun at him, Nedu had to confirm to give him his proper credit. So he said, if he tried to play the I want to call this political card, but he tried to be diplomatic about the whole thing. He first said, okay, yes, Casey, so who is calling that they're all his friends, so he just wants to be sure, and he asked Harrison, are you sure he pulled a gun at you? Harrison confirmed it, yes. Now, that was twice Harrison said or claimed Soso put a gun at him and attempted to kill him. Now, towards the end of the show, when it was concluding, he still went on and repeated it a third time. Yes, that Soso put a gun at him. Now, this is to say that he has now said it 3 times, meaning it was not like a slip of tongue. Your tongue can't slip 3 times, to be honest, you know. So I watched that and I was like, okay, I do not know whether this thing is real or fake, but if it is real, a few thoughts were going through my head. Before I go into my own thoughts, let's move to Soso. So now this morning, as I woke up, I was watching a video that the Freeze made with Soso Soberekon. He interviewed him on his YouTube channel. So in that interview, Soso was clearing his name and giving his own side of the story and where he and Harrysong are right now. He said that one, he and Harrysong have settled it out of court, and Harrysong is should release a public apology and retract his statements publicly soon. And then if he does not do that, there might be other legal implications. But what Harrysong have done that he and Harrysong are cool and he does not have any beef with Harry. Now in that interview, Soso also mentioned the fact that he was actually aware before the interview went out, and we are slowly getting into my own opinion about the whole thing. Soso made it known that he was aware about the podcast before it went on air, and how was he aware? He said he got the contact from got contacted by Nedu Wazobia, and Nedu told him, "Bro, I get gist for you." And then he also replied Nedu saying, "What's up? What's the update? Anything for me?" So Nedu did not reply. I think then after some days, he went back to reply Nedu that if it is something that I can avoid and you're not telling me, I'll not feel good about it. I am paraphrasing it, but the point of what he said he told Nedu in the chat was that's the actual point of what he was talking about. Yeah. So he said he won't be happy if Nedu has this information that he could prevent and Nedu did not tell him. So after that, Nedu now sent I think Nedu sent a message. Nedu sent a voice note which he played on the interview. Nedu was like telling him about that they were to do an interview. They were to release a recording about Soso Soberekon. However, the recording is no longer going to be released, so Soso should not bother. He still has Soso Soberekon's back. Yes, and that is where we get into Nedu and the part he has to play in this whole mess. Now, to begin with, let's go back to the Harrysong side of things. When they were doing the interview, I feel those interviewers were not professional enough. Yes, they're the professionals. In fact, they're even working on one of the biggest radio stations in Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm just a small YouTuber trying to get a few viewers to view my video. So yes, they might be more professional than I am, but in my own little knowledge, having worked in a media house, I feel they were not professional enough. Now, when someone allegates that someone else threatened their life, when it's a big name and the person was categorically called out, because not say just Soso, he called his full name and mentioned the fact that they were business partners in the past or they are friends. And I believe there's only one Soso Soberekon that is friends with Harrysong. So it was clear about who he was talking about. So when someone is making that kind of pointed allegation, because falsely accusing a person of making an attempt on your life is not a small allegation to make. You should have your facts. So I feel what you should have done was ask him, "Do you have your evidence?" If he says yes, I have my evidence, maybe this person was there, that person was there. He may not have pictures or videos or recordings to that effect. But if you could mention something, okay, when we were at this, when I was there, it was so this person, and the other person that were there when he put the gun at me. So I feel these people should have done due diligence to try to confirm the authenticity of Harrysong's claims, because for a business person, if someone makes an allegation that when people have misunderstanding, the person can threaten your life, that can hinder you from closing businesses, because you'll be like, okay, what if we have a misunderstanding, meaning my life is not safe with this business partner of mine? So I feel they should have gone the extra mile to confirm um, the authenticity of Harrysong's claim. That's one. So I do not think they did well in that. Two is um, Nedu tried by trying to reach out to Soso to tell him that we have gist for you, we have gist on you, so to say. So I think they did well in doing that because, yes, there's freedom of press, but if you claim you have this person's back, whether or not there's freedom of press, um, you reach out to the person to tell the person, yes, I have gist about you. You may not, you may just tell the person about it, but you may not, like, you may say, don't publish. Freedom of press says you can decide to publish because of, well, freedom of press, but does not mean that you will not tell someone if you really have the person's back. So Nedu reaching out to Soso, fine, that was cool. But I feel along the line, maybe now this I'm just alleging or I'm just assuming that maybe Nedu actually wanted to gist Soso about it and be a good friend that has Soso's back. But because the show is not solely a Nedu show, it is a show that is hosted by four people, and I believe they have other people on the back end ensuring the day-to-day runnings of the show, publishing, management, investing of guests. So I think it is a whole body of. They have a structure, yes. So maybe he on his own part wanted to gist so, but perhaps people on the back end, other stakeholders felt no, don't tell him. He may tell you to take it off and yeah, just leave it. Let him find out about it. So if that was what happened, that maybe other people told him that it is not what he given Soso the gist, let's also find out. I feel if that was, what was the case, the voice note that he sent to Soso, that Soso played on that the Faces live, I feel that voice note was unwarranted. Let me explain what I mean. Now, if I have a friend, let's say I was in the loose position, Soso was my guy, and I wanted to tell Soso that Soso and so was Soso and so. Anyway, I wanted to tell Soso Soberekon that I have this gist on you, and other managers of the show tells me no, don't go ahead with telling him. What I'll do is I'll just avoid that conversation, not go ahead to send the voice note telling Soso that nothing is happening. Don't worry, we are no longer going to release the recording. You are fine. I feel that, and then go. No, maybe not as if he released it a long time after. According to Soso Soberekon, to the podcast released a day after he sent that voice note. So I believe that's where Nedu was wrong. And to think about it, ironically, the podcast was talking about fake friends in the industry. I am not saying Nedu is a fake friend. My own point and summary of the matter is that at the end of the day, it's good that at least there's a mature person. There seems to be a mature person in the room named Soso Soberekon trying to settle everything amicably. And according to him, he does not have bad blood against maybe Nedu or Harrysong. But I feel Nedu could have done better in managing the situation. He has a lot of years experience. I mean, I've been listening to Nedu since I was in secondary school. So Nedu have a lot of experience in media, so he should know how to manage these kind of situations because people have grievances and some people might take advantage of the fact that they have following to make false allegations about other members of the entertainment industry. And you as a media person, you have to know the way to say, okay, how do we ensure that the information we are taking out there is authentic and true? Now the song was like he was under pressure, and then that was according to Soso. And I'm like, if you are under pressure, how would you go and say it 3 times? And you guys were just having fun. There was a lot of laughter involved. It's not as if there was a gun against your head saying you must say this about your former partner. I feel there was no pressure on Harrysong. He just perhaps wanted to trend. Two, I feel Nedu could have done better. And three, big ups to Soso Soberekon for being the mature person in the room. Let me know your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about this entire situation, and what what is your thought about the whole thing? Do you think my analysis is correct? Do you think perhaps I'm wrong? Do you have a different opinion about the whole thing? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Eccentric Side Plus. Till next time, from me to you is stay eccentric. Bye.